Hello, YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Pinstar Plays Chef, Episode 2. So, when we last left our, currently as of yet unnamed restaurant, we just opened up. We got a couple of tables sat down, and a little bit of aesthetics to draw some people in. Couple of customers, but they're not too much, and a lot of people are not terribly thrilled with our menu. We're going to rectify that. So next part of of the tutorial here, and this is actually why I went through the tutorial proper, is here. We're going to be getting some bonus skill points. So as far as skill points go, skill points work a couple of different ways depending on the character. So skill points for us, the chef, are a lot more important than skill points for our employees, although their skill points are still quite useful and important. Now, as far as what our skill points can do, there are all of these different dish archetypes, gnocchi, lasagna, dumplings. Now, from each of these different archetypes, and there's archetypes within every single category: carbs, meats, fish, sandwiches and burgers, veggies and fruits, desserts. All of these open up sort of archetypical dishes, but from those archetypes you can create countless of actual dishes using the same archetype and make them very diverse even if you're using the exact same one. Now, we have 3 skill points to our name. The other thing that you can do, but we'll get into this later, is notice how there's 3 dots above each of these? You can invest extra skill points into a single archetype to unlock, fancier bonuses for recipes made under that archetype. So you can sort of specialize yourself in particular preparations and be able to create recipes with higher bonuses. But for now, in the early game, we want to broaden our horizons here. So I think, looking at our different options here, now because we are gunning for the white-collar people and they like fish, we do want to broaden our horizons for fish. I think I'm going to pick up fried fish. Now, fried fish could be anything, but it's a very versatile thing here. But we don't want to turn our noses up to our lower income clientele who like meat and carbs. Well, the best combination of meat and carbs I can think of would be a hamburger. A good old-fashioned hamburger. So we will go ahead and grab that one. Now for our last thing, do veggies and fruits, because there's something I particularly like. One little theme I'm going to be wrapping our restaurant around, and that is my favorite ingredient, which we'll get into shortly. But it's a vegetable. So almost every dish that we make will contain this vegetable, or at least a version of this vegetable. So as such, let's open up another vegetable dish here. I think sautéed, because sautéing veggies is one of my favorite ways to make them. Let's do that. Excellent. Now, the other thing that we can do here for our staff is they have skill points as well. They all have 5 skill points. And this is what I was talking about in the last thing. All of their different actions are represented here. Getting the door, bringing people to their tables, taking their order, delivering their order, collecting the bill, and cleaning up the table. All have animation frames that they have to do to complete that task. Putting skill points into these things will all make them faster. And then over here, fitness will give them more base energy so that they can go longer before getting tired. So what I like to do is I like to have our 2 of our waiters be sort of dual classed into getting the door and getting the bill, and then another class of waiter who is exclusively skilled at taking orders and delivering food, because these 2 actions take the longest, so you want to really focus their skill points. So Robin, you know what? You're going to be our our order taker and food deliverer. So we'll do that here. Now, when we stack up skill points like this, it gives us actually, hang on. I don't know if this is because both the bonuses here Yeah, I think these stack up like this, but you definitely want to try and go for level 3 whenever possible, because gives you even a faster transition to that. So we're going to do level 2 fast delivery, level 1 fast writing, and we'll give them 1 point of fitness. It costs more skill points as you get more dots, so we need 3 more skill points before we can get level 3 in fast delivery. So we'll probably get level 2 fast writing next. So that is Robin. Now Amelia and Aya, we want them sort of spreading their things out a little bit. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one in there. All level 1s, but it covers a broader base. And we're going to do the same thing for Aya. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some energy. Boom. Excellent. Now the other thing you can do here is we can tell Robin, don't get the door. Don't get the bills. Your job is only service. Whereas Amelia and Aya, don't take orders, don't serve people. Get the door, get the bills, clean up. And then if we add a 4th waiter, we'll have them help Robin out on the service aspect. Now, the next thing of our customization of our recipes here is the ingredients panel. And this is where the game really shines. So we've got a lot of ingredients that we can use. We got meats, we got veggies, seafood, dairy, spices, fruits, nuts, legumes, and others, and alcohol as well. Now, we don't actually have direct access to all of them. The game starts us off with a smattering across the board. Anything that has 1 star in it means we have access to a basic version of that ingredient. Just like leveling up your skills in specific recipe archetypes, you can level up your availability to specific ingredients and get access to higher quality versions of that ingredient by putting additional stars in there, which costs you ingredient points, which work almost like skill points. But like I said before, we want to broaden our horizons here. And I've got a couple of dishes planned out specifically for my name and game patrons that have requested some of their favorites. So I'm going to be snapping up ingredients to fulfill those, and then over time we get more ingredient points so we can keep expanding our menu. Now, the one thing I mentioned before, that my menu is going to be centered around my absolute favorite food or favorite ingredient, and that is onions. The big Vidalia sweet hot style onion. I love onions, IRL. And they're really darn useful in-game too. So we already start with onions, but maybe we can expand our horizons here. Maybe get a cousin of the island, the shallot, and get one of them too. Now, as far as other items, I think we're good on vegetables for the moment. So let's move on. We need to pick up noodles. That's important to one of the dishes that we've been tasked with making here. Over on the meats, we actually have all the meats that we need at the moment. Seafood, we have what we need for now, although we are most certainly going to be expanding this as we go on, because seafood's going to be very important to us. Over in dairy, I think we want to grab the bechamel sauce. Actually, no, we don't need bechamel. We're going to make the sauce just by itself, so hang on. Shallots, there we go. Okay, so that should be it for now. I'm going to skip over the spices for the moment. I'm going to return to it, though. One of the dishes requires avocados, so we will pick up that. No nuts at the moment, no legumes at the moment. We do need to get meat stock, or broth, essentially, for one of our things here. We also want to pick up some wine for a couple of reasons. One, a couple of our recipes call for it, but two, by picking up alcohol, not only can you use them in recipes, you can also serve them as themselves, as bottles of red and white wine on your menu, and people will enjoy that. All right, we got 4 ingredient points, and I think I'm going to spend them on spices, because I like me some spices. Spices are very powerful in game. You just need to pick the ones that mix and match. I think we're going to stay on the Italian side of things. We're going to grab some rosemary, maybe some thyme, some oregano, and you know what? Parsley. Parsley's pretty versatile. We can go with the more aggressive spices like curry and chili peppers. later on. But for now, I think this is a good spice base. And again, we'll get more ingredient points as we go along. Okay, so they want me now to go take a look at the tasks panel. Yep. Oh yeah, here they're just explaining the morale and energy system. So essentially, see these blue bars under everybody? That's their current energy. And see these little icons here? That's their current morale level. Now, when a person is working, their energy will go down. If their energy reaches the bottom, it will actually instantly refill up to maximum, but it will cause their morale level to take a hit. And if their morale goes all the way down to the bottom level, they will quit. And I don't know what happens if your character's morale hits rock bottom. Now, over time, their morale will slowly repair itself depending on how much you pay them. You can also give people breaks to prevent their energy from bottoming out and taking that hit to their morale. So you gotta balance things out. So now they're pointing us towards the tasks. The tasks here, these are like mini achievements. This is how we earn more points up here, more ingredients points and more experience points for our dish archetypes. So here basically we would get a point if we feed 15 cheapskates. And there's points, and these get harder as they require more and more people of the same type to get the next point. But you can also, by say serving 25 dishes with the meat tag, we get points. So there's different ways to engineer yourself and gain the points. So they're just pointing us towards that. But now that we've gone through that, we can do the thing that I've been sort of harping on before, and that is customize our recipes. This is one of the best parts of the game. So, as I was saying before with the dish archetypes, these are the current archetypes available to us right now. We've got fried fish, grilled meat, hamburgers, meat stew, pasta, pies, salads, sandwiches, sautéed rice, sautéed vegetables, and soup. And steamed fish. But down here, these are all the other archetypes that we haven't yet unlocked that we still can. So let's make a dish. So our first name in game patron who came forth and requested a specific dish to be made in their honor and also named after them is Milena Nighthawk. So Milena, she described a pasta dish that she would like. So we're going to call this and you'll see why it's called this in a minute, the White Nighthawk pasta. It is going to be classified as a main course. You can actually, depending on the archetypes, they can sometimes fit in other parts of the menu, but a pasta dish needs to be main course. So let's dive right in. So at its core, the pasta dish has some certain requirements for it to even count as a pasta dish. In here, please use one of the following ingredients in high quantity, 100 grams or more: pasta, fresh pasta, or noodles. So we have to take one of those three and use at least 100 grams of it for it to count as a pasta dish, because, pasta needs pasta. Duh. So we're going to just do regular pasta here. Like that, and 100 grams of it. So now we have fulfilled the requirements of the dish. We could technically serve this. Nobody would like it. It's just plain pasta with nothing on it. So what we want to do is we want to build up our recipe rating up to at least 100, or as high as we can make it. Now, recipe ratings are at their core built up of two different things: taste and flavor. Skills comes into play in more advanced settings. We'll ignore skills for the moment because we can't get any bonuses out of it, but for now we can get up to 50 points out of taste and 50 points out of flavor. Now, taste comes from foods that are inherently, like there's 5 different main tastes. You got saltiness, you got sweetness, sourness, bitterness, and fattiness. Also sort of like the umami flavor of that, the savoriness. But pasta by itself is bland. Like there is no flavor to pasta. So the ingredient by itself ain't doing anything for taste. Now, flavor is when you make combinations of different ingredients that play off of each other. Complementary ingredients will give you bonuses to the flavor rating, whereas the taste is more about the inherent properties of the ingredients themselves. And you need to compose a dish that plays off of both, because you can only get 50 points out of taste and 50 points out of flavor. So you can't ignore one and just focus on the other. You got to balance the two out. And that's kind of the fun thing with this one. Pulling up my thing here. Milena says, on my Patreon, by the way, if you want to dive into this, get your name in-game and get your recipe in-game, check out a link to my Patreon below. But Milena says, favorite meal is chicken and avocado penne pasta in a creamy sauce. I think we can handle that. She mentioned the chicken and avocado, so this is why we picked up the avocado. We will get the avocado. And we go over here to meats, and we will pick up the chicken. Now, the creamy sauce, we are going to compose through a couple of different ingredients. Now, a couple of things here, and this is notice how we have some points in the taste here and some points in the flavor. The avocado and the chicken both are actually flavorful. They have their own flavor. So they brought a little sweetness, probably from the avocado, and some fattiness, both from the avocado and the chicken. So that gave us a little bit of taste points. And then flavor is that there's some complementary things here. So when we click on the avocado, we can see the chicken highlights in sort of a lighter green here. This means that the flavors lightly complement each other. So that gives us a little bit of a flavor bonus. So what we want to do is we want to find more and more ingredients that complement as many other ingredients to sort of maximize this out. Now, we do want to stay true to Milena's request. She requested a chicken avocado pasta in a cream sauce. So let's build us a cream sauce. Now, cream sauce to me says some butter. If we take a look at butter synergizes. So it synergizes slightly with the avocado, and the darker green here means it's a good match with the chicken. So this should be a welcome addition and give us some more flavor points. Plus the butter itself, we can see, has a strength of 5 when it comes to adding fattiness. So that's going to add a whole bunch of fat. In fact, it adds so much fat that now our flavor profile is unbalanced. This dish is so heavy, so fatty, that it is now actually actively detracting from the taste of the dish. It's unpleasant to sink your mouth into it in its current form. We got to balance some things out. That's what cooking's all about. But we still need to make our cream sauce here. So I'm going to say some milk, and you know what? Parmesan. Now here's the other thing. A blue background means that is the best synergy. So we're going to get a lot of flavor points by putting Parmesan on pasta, but also it synergizes with milk and chicken as well. However, it does not synergize with avocado and butter. The fact that it doesn't is actually gives us some small penalties for these two. However, the bonuses more than outweigh the penalties, so including Parmesan will give us a net increase in our flavor bonus here. Bam, 8 points up from 6. Now we still have to deal with the fattiness of this dish. We got to balance it out. We got to boost. You can either do that by cutting the fattiness of the ingredients or boosting up the other ingredients to be somewhat more in line with it, because it's more of a relative thing. I don't think we need quite this much butter. Let's cut the butter down just a little bit, 20 grams of it. As you add more or less of something, it impacts how much. The more volume of a thing that has, the more or less that thing impacts the actual taste here. And also chicken, actually we'll leave chicken alone for the moment. But this dish still has a lot of work to do. We're still only at a 24 rating. We got to get some more flavors. We got to get some more taste. And that's where I turn to aromatics, to spices. This, my friends, these things are going to help us out. Now, if you can see, they all sort of trigger on the bitter category, which is actually good because we kind of need to boost that one up. But a lot of them are all about complementary flavor combos more so than anything. So look at basil here. Complements all across the board. Yes, we're going to add some basil. Boom. And then as you add more things that complement all each other, it becomes sort of multiplicative and really starts racking up that flavor bonus here. Black pepper, we can do better than black pepper. Oregano, a little bit better. Parsley, good with the chicken, but not so much everything else. Now the rosemary, actually 2 greens and a light green's not bad. Thyme, I think the rosemary will do well, yeah. And then we look at the parsley. Now the parsley is looking a little... Actually, the oregano is looking better because now it complements off of the rosemary. So we throw some oregano on here. We're up to 32 flavor. So things are starting to look pretty good. Now, a couple other things of aromatics we can add in. I mentioned before where everything in all of our dishes need to have onions. So we're actually going to toss in an onion because look at this. Look at how well the onion synergizes with everything. Now, I don't want the onion to be the star of the dish. I just want it there for the aromatics. So we're going to throw in an onion, but we're going to drop it down. The dropping it down like this does not reduce its impact on the flavor bonus, but it does reduce its impact on the taste metric here. So now we have maxed out our flavor bonus by adding that simple onion here. Now, we still need to bump up our flavor here. And I do think we could cut the fat a little bit here. But that also will reduce the taste profile. So let's turn to our friend salt. Salt is just as important in this game as it is in real-life culinary. Salt will enhance the flavor of everything. It is tremendously powerful, and it gives a saltiness category. So we add that, and now it's boosting up the flavor, but in a way that is not adding to the same thing here. So if we crank this up, now if we crank it up too high, then it becomes overwhelming as well. So actually let's crank you up, and now actually no, we don't want it too salty there. We could find something that's a little bit sweet, a little bit, you know what? Increasing the onion might be a smart thing, because the onion is both a little sweet and a little sour, is how it's handled in the game. So now we're up to 50 taste. We have 50 taste, 50 flavor. Now the other thing that we want to be mindful of is the tags. At the moment, this recipe only has 2 tags. It's got dairy and it's heavyweight, which means it's over 800 calories. By the way, that's not necessarily a bad tag to have. But we want, because this is a pasta dish, we want it to have the carb tag, both to appeal to the cheapskates and also just to honor the spirit of the dish. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop the chicken down a little bit here, like that. Perfect. The chicken is we're just giving it a kiss of chicken here, just a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? We could do a little bit more with the chicken. We can drop the avocado just a little bit. Although, no, because that's kind of the heart of the dish here. I don't want to drop the onion. Yeah, actually, that kind of works out well. We up you a little bit. Nope, that's too much. We could probably boost up, like, there we go. What did we lose? If we boost up the pasta a little bit, there we get the carbs tag up a little bit. So add a couple more noodles in the dish here, and now I think we're good. So now we have a strength 100 recipe here. It is carby, it is dairy, it is spicy, and it is heavyweight because it is over 800 categories. So now all of these ingredients do a number of different things besides give us the points here and determine the tags. Also, the reason why it does not have the meat tag is because, yes, there is meat in the dish. There is chicken, but the chicken is small enough that it is not the star of the show. So when somebody goes to order this dish, they don't order it for the chicken. If we were to go crazy, if we were to go like, boom, 200 grams of chicken, yeah, it's no longer a pasta dish. It is a chicken dish that happens to have a few noodles strewn on it. But that's not what we're going for here. So we're just going to tone that back down, 50 grams of chicken. Same goes with the avocado. It is not a fruit dish, even though the avocado is in the fruit category. The other thing that this determines is, based on the prep method and the cooking, this is going to take us 17 minutes. This is a longer prep time, but you got to boil water to cook the pasta anyway. And also the raw ingredients cost us $1.71 to make one plate of this stuff. So we need to, make sure we charge higher than that in order to make a profit. So let's save this. Bing! White Knight hot pasta. Get. Right then, now we go over here to the menu, over to main courses, and in among all the pre-made ones, we've got the White Knight hot pasta, the only one that's at 100. Boom. And let's get rid of this fettuccine alfredo. That's bunk. And let's charge $6 for it for now. That's a fair amount of profit. Our cheapskates won't complain too loudly. And yeah, we can do some more tinkering with the menu here. I got a couple more dishes that I want to add. So let's add them. New recipe. All right, next one up is a request from Thibaut. So this is going. He wants. He likes beef bourguignon. I think I'm saying that. Which is kind of the closest archetype that I can see here is the meat stew dish here. We'll make this an appetizer. Make it, just a little starter to help you out here. And we're gonna call this the beef bourguignon. And we can, tweak the appearance of it here. That's closer. Should be good. Except the appearance is just there, the icon on the menu. It has no bearing. What actually is in the dishes matters here. So now let's look at the meat stew requirements. We need at least one meat tagged ingredient that's 100 grams or more. And he said this is beef bourguignon, so where's the beef? There's the beef. And we need 100 grams of this stuff in order to qualify. Perfect. But beef bourguignon is not beef by itself. We need to. So, according to the real life recipe here, it also needs it needs to be stewed in red wine. So we go here to alcohol, and yeah, you can use alcohol as a beverage, but you can also use it in your cooking. So boom, red wine, which pairs very nicely with beef, mind you. So we're already off to a great start in the flavor department. Beef stock, which in this case is represented by just the stock here. And it is flavored with carrots, onions, garlic, and a bouquet of garni, and garnished with more onions, mushrooms, and bacon. So let's do the garnishes first. So bacon is included, but only a garnish, so minimum requirements. That the bacon is not the star, the beef is. And then as far as the onions go, I'm going to use the shallots as the pearl onion, so that's going to go in there minimum. But the onions themselves are going to be in a bigger quantity. They also said they want carrots, and garlic, which goes very nicely with everything else in here. We're getting our thing now. All we really need is and garnished with mushrooms. Garnished with mushrooms. Gotta get the there we go. And we're already up to a 50 flavor. We don't actually need to put the bouquet garni in here to amp up the flavor, because these flavors are playing off of each other so well already. Now what we do need to do is get our taste factor up to 50 here. So first things first, salt. Always add the salt, unless it's already salty from something else. So let's crank you up. Can we get away with... No, that's too much. Salt can take you pretty far up the taste level, but it can't take you all the way. You know what? I might want to up the amount of bacon just for the salty and fattiness of it. 49. That's too much bacon. That's now that is no longer a garnish of bacon. At 47, now bacon's not quite potent enough to get the flavor compounds up higher. Maybe cranking up the garlic a little bit. Nope. One of these levers. Actually, one thing we could do is reduce the amount of stock, because the stock itself has a little bit of flavor, but it's kind of bland. And so by reducing the volume of a bland ingredient, it makes all of the other flavors a little bit more intense. And here we go. The beef bourguignon. Has enough meat to qualify for the meat tag, but also enough veggies in it to also qualify for the vegetables tag. Now, vegetarians aren't going to taste that, but anyone looking for a good meat dish is going to enjoy this one. So, bada boom, bada bing. The beef bourguignon. A bit more expensive in ingredients, but we're using a lot of meats and wines there. So, yeah, understandable, to say the least. All right, the last of my Name and Game patrons that has specifically requested a dish is air tea. So let's get a new recipe. And air tea says, my favorite is beef broth with lots of onions, carrots, and other vegetables, and importantly, soup noodles, the thin and short kind. All right, air tea. So we're gonna go for a soup dish here, and this goes square. We could make an appetizer, but I think this belongs in the soup category. Let's darken that up so it's a beef broth. There we go. That looks like onions to me. There we go. Perfect. And this one is going to be air tea. Oops. Air tea's 73 noodle soup. All right, now for our soup here, our requirement, 2 vegetables tagged in of at least 50. That's easy enough because he already told us he wants onions and carrots. And we also know that onions and carrots play moderately well with each other. Works for me. But he also mentioned other vegetables, so we will populate those. But he also said soup noodles, and that's why I picked up the noodles ingredient here. So at this point, the dish is ours to customize here, but we can do a lot to it here. We're already doing pretty well with the flavor. Let's make the noodles like more noodly. We want this. He specifically likes the noodle, so we want this noodly enough to qualify for the carbs tag. This is a noodle soup. It is not a second fiddle. So we need some salt, or saltiness. So we can certainly grab some salt here. You know what? We can throw in. We can use some stock too. Might as well. Because that'll help complement flavors and give us a little fattiness. Speaking of, we can also mix in some olive oil. No, olive oil's okay. This doesn't really strike me as a butter sauce, though. Even though it's strictly better, it doesn't really sit well with me for that. I might go more the olive oil, because the olive oil is also going to pair nicer with the aromatics, which we're about to be introducing. So olive oil will give us the fattiness here. We can amp that up a little bit until we get to just 2 fattiness. We can up the salt there, and then all of our aromatics are going to be bitter, so that's going to be good regardless. So yeah, let's get some aromatics going in here. Basil. Basil's good. Let's just see if we can hit a home run here. Rosemary's looking pretty good. Thyme's looking pretty good. Basil was looking pretty good too. We're up to a 47 here, or 42 flavor combo. Mint. Mint, really? Oh, that's the other thing. He said beef broth, and while the stock here is kind of, brothy, we want it to specifically beef flavored. So I'm going to actually put in beef, but make it tiny. It is there for the flavoring agent of it, and that actually gives us our combo. That gives us our final flavor combo. Let's up the salt content a little bit more. And we're good. We've got the vegetables, the carbs, the spice, and it is technically a healthy recipe. Despite all the salt in there, under 400 calories, so there we go. Only $1.67 to make, so that works out nicely. All right, so let's add these bad boys to our menu. We've got the beef bourguignon as our appetizer. This one's going to be a little bit on the pricier side. We'll call you $7.50, up there with the quiche Lorraine. We already added the White Hawk pasta here, so over here to soups. Ertie's noodle soup. We'll keep that alongside. And these two, $6. It's the best soup that we have to offer, so you're going to pay a little bit more for it. We want some profits. Now these haven't quite unlocked new things here, but one thing I didn't add yet is the fact that we unlocked some wines here, and I know for a fact white collar people like their wine, so we're going to give them some discount red wine and some smuggled white wine, and boom, that gives us the alcohol offer. We have enough alcohol on our menu that it is now seen as a restaurant that has alcohol, and that gives us a small bonus to attractiveness, but across the board, white collar, blue collar, and both flavors of tourists like them some alcohol. Now, we can't customize the recipe for these types of wine, but we can upgrade the wine ingredient later. But for now, we're just going to make those $6. Excellent. All right, enough jibba jabba and fussing with the menu. Let's get to cooking here. So now this menu is now available. Now, a couple other things that we can do to draw people in, because we want to get people in the door. We want to get as many people in the door as we can. One of the things that we can do here is we can upgrade our attractiveness, not through direct furnishings. I mean, we can do that too, but we don't have a ton of money for that. But we can set up different cleaning protocols here, and these will give us ambience. Ambience is like a decoration that is appealing to all different types. So, people of all sorts like a clean environment. Now, do we want to turn this on just yet, though? No, I don't think actually, not yet. We do want to send out some flyers to get some more attractiveness. We're gonna send out flyers to the cheapskates for the moment, just so that we can try and get that bumped up to back up to 100% here. And then for billboards, we want billboards targeting white collar workers. We're still not going to get a ton of them in there, but we definitely want them in place, as many of them coming in as possible, because they'll give us some good paydays. All right, let's see. And the game does simulate lunch rushes and dinner rushes at the appropriate time of day. Each day, quote unquote, in game represents 1 week of essential sales. So we're watching one day, and yeah, it fast forward whenever there's downtime, but then it stops itself. So yeah, we're starting to get some more of the dinner rush. Let's see our new reviews here. 100% on the cheapskates, looking good. All right, so far we haven't gotten anybody from the other groups yet, but they'll come in due time. Right then. Oh yeah, we gotta give ourselves a name here. Let's call it, because we are an onion-based restaurant, Layers. That is the name of our restaurant, Layers. Got me going to town here on the dishes. Again, things are still a little quiet. The rush of customers that you get when you first open, I think, is scripted. Then it starts settling down to how many people are you actively attracting, which is why we were trying to focus on getting more people in the door as possible. All right, another group of 4. Let's speed you up to ×2. And also, let's see who's ordering what, because we can actually click on individual people and see what they're ordering here. Chicken breast with salad. Salad. Come on, guys. You got to order some of the new stuff we designed. We bet you. Aha! The beef bourguignon. And chicken breast with salad. Excellent. Chicken breast with salad. But everybody is going after this chicken breast with salad. There's a lot better things than chicken breast with salad on our menu, I promise. The customers don't always make the smartest choices. Maybe personal preference. Maybe they think they'll like something a little bit better. Let's see what else everybody ordered here. All right, what's the draw to this freaking chicken breast with salad? And why are you not going for Nighthawk pasta? We can do so much better. I mean, I guess because they're cheapskates and it's cheaper. That could be a reason. So you know what? Let's replace the chicken breast with salad with one more thing. Because we did go ahead and open up the burger as a thing here. Let's use a hamburger. Let's see here. We're going to call this the Boyd Burger. And this is going to be a main course burger. Now, for the burger, it needs to be bread in 100 grams or more and a meat-tagged ingredient. So, let's get our bread at 100 grams. And the meat-tagged, we already did beef. We already used chicken. Let's go for a pork burger. Yeah. Pork burger sounds good to me. And this is what I was talking about, where you could use an archetype for lots of different things. So you could use the hamburger for a pork burger, and then make another completely different hamburger recipe for turkey sliders, or a bacon bomb burger, or something like that. Like, you can go all over the place just using the same archetype. Very, very flexible. But we're going to go pretty traditional here, and of course, we're going to be putting onions on this beast. Boom. Mushrooms? No. What else does pork like? Pork loves garlic, so garlic there. Lettuce. Yeah, let's get, add some veggies on there. But we don't want this to be too veggie centric. Do we want some cheese? Maybe we want some cheese. Cow cheese? Cheese is not the number one thing here. Maybe not cheese on this one. Maybe just keep it straight up. No, sauteing the pork. We could do a red wine saute, beer braised pork. Maybe not. This might also be, actually avocado. Avocado plays nicely with that. Let us tap into our avocado supply and get that in there. That's looking pretty good. All right, let's get some aromatics in here. Basil. Ooh, basil matches across the board. Bam, basil. Black pepper. Black pepper is a really good one too, and we're up to 50. Boom. We only needed a couple of aromatics, and we're looking good. Now let's bump up the flavor. So we definitely want to add salt, but I know salt is not going to take us all the way there. Let's see, what else? We can bump up the bitterness by bumping up the basil a little. No, not quite bitter enough. Maybe the garlic? Nope, not quite strong enough. Oop. There we go. A little balancing act there. All right, and now we've got actually a little bit of everything, including the heavyweight tag. So this is a carby, meaty, vegetable, spicy heavyweight burger. Boyd Burger, get. That should be good. Now, granted, this is a bit more expensive, so our profit margin for this isn't going to be super duper great, but it is a good burger. Boyd Burger, and you know what, Boyd Burger, you're going to be $7. $7.50, I think, is kind of the limit that people are willing to pay out here. And that actually gave us a new thing, the heavyweight offer. We have enough heavyweight class dishes that we are now attracting more cheapskates, blue collars, and low-class tourists, which is a good thing, because that's kind of our bread and butter at the moment. No pun intended. All right, so now let's see if we can entice people to order something better than those yeah, because they were complaining about that freaking chicken with salad. Like, nobody really liked that, and yet everybody was ordering it. So now they can't. We took it off the menu and put two much better things on there. Oh, and we did get more experience points here. We'll spend them in our next episode here. All right, now we're starting to get the dinner crowds coming. That's what we want. Let's see. Are they all cheapskates, or are we going to get lucky and get a splash of somebody else in there? More cheapskates. And what are you guys ordering? Here we go. Now, white nighthawk pasta and garlic potato soup. That's better. More white nighthawk pasta. Now they're ordering correctly, and they will enjoy their food. More cheapskates. Ooh, the beef bourguignon and the white nighthawk. Excellent. Good taste. Yeah, I think they were just going for whatever was the cheapest. So we take that crappy chicken and salad dish away from them, and they go for the next cheaper thing. But I mean, they're cheapskates. What do you want? They don't have taste in food. They just go for what's cheap. Still, we're making a decent profit on that white nighthawk pasta. Who do we got here? More cheapskates. All right. Eventually, we will transition out of the cheapskates era and actually get some customers with taste, some pickiness, and also some money to spend, where they'll go for things that they actually like rather than whatever the cheapest thing is. All right, we have, so every time we hit 20 popularity points, we're at 22 now, every good rating that we get increases our popularity, we get influence points. What are influence points? Well, if we go here to the city map, even though I couldn't find a good spot to land on here, so basically we get 100% of the population that exists on this tile. At the moment, nobody else knows about us, or really cares enough to make the trip. But we can start spending our influence to attract people from new tiles. So if we put one thing here, we are now getting 20% of all of the customers that exist on this tile. And then we can go all the way up to 100%. So we will get everyone from this tile, and then we can spread out. And, your location of your restaurant is important because it's important because of what tile you're on, but also what tiles you are near. We have a lot of low-income family things, so we're going to probably need to transition into them, even though our current tile is terrible for lower income families. So we're not appealing to them yet. We will be in the future. And then that will just increase our customer base, so we should start seeing an uptick in number of people. All right, so let's continue on here. I'm just scanning to see our first non-cheapskate. Cheapskates. You can see up here, number of orders waiting to be served, There we go. Just want to make sure we're keeping up with everything. The other thing we can see at the end of the night how many orders of each individual dish were ordered, how much we made. It'll give us a nice big summary. How are people liking? People are liking it. We got a 1 4-star rating, but that's fine. Basically, 3 stars and above is fine. It's when you start getting hammered by 2 and 1 star reviews that things can start to hurt. All right, 11:52 p.m. Some people like to stay late. Last person is clearing out, getting cleared up there. And that should bring us to the end of the day. Now, it looks like we lost a lot of money, but a lot of that is from furniture and tools. Now, that being said, we did lose more than we made, but that's the first day. You know, we don't get a ton of things here, a ton of customers and whatnot, and those policies were draining us a bit. But we've got some money, and as we gain in popularity, we can draw more and more people in, especially as we improve our menu, which we'll be doing in our next episode. So, if you... you know what? Now that I have my free skill points, I don't care. Get out of here. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya! Yeah, White Knight Hot Pasta definitely took off in popularity. I think with the Boyd Burger will come into its own once we start getting people that are looking for meat.